What's up, guys? My name's Doofus Mcdooface, and I'm creating a new series of videos where I talk about Legion TD2 openers. These are the units that I build on Wave 1 that I either like or dislike, or I think they're neutral. Being that there is so many possibilities, I'm going to break this down by Tier 1. So if it's a tier 1 unit that you could open in some sort of way, whether it's the base unit upgraded once, or if it's the base unit upgraded twice, sort of going to try to separate that. But yeah, this is the first video. This is Tier 1 openers for Legion TD2, and I hope it's useful. Let me know if it is. So, first on the table, we have Adam. When I'm referring to this, I guess there's two ways I could talk about it, but I'll sort of blend them into one. I play a lot of Fiesta, so I'll go Adam, and then I'll go Proton, or I'll go Adam, Proton, Proton. But the normal start would just be two Atoms, right? I think they're pretty similar. Both are average at best. When I'm playing Fiesta or normal Legion, I'm never really loving Atoms. Don't get me wrong, being pure, they're solid. They're always going to kill something. But then they also need tanks, and the positioning. I don't really love the positioning of Atoms because the range for me doesn't seem like what it says. So I'm going to start Atoms out at C tier. I'm going to be a little ruthless if I'm going to be honest. Atom, C tier. Maybe it has room for a B tier for me, but I think the Atom open, C tier at best. Maybe B. Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher, one of the best openers in the entire game. Helps you push workers easily. It was I think my best, telling you how to play video of all time. 5-worker Bone Crusher start. I mean, it's got to be A. I'm not sure if it's S, though. I'm not sure if it's S tier, but I really do like the Bone Crusher open. You build the Bone Crusher, you push to 5 workers. If you're crazy, you can push to 6 workers. If you don't expect to get snailed on 2, you can really get away with some great things. If your teammate leaks and it's a long wave, you can cover them because you're never leaking. It's really nice, really consistent. You know what? Honestly, I think it's S tier. I think if you're starting Bone Crusher, you know what you're doing. I'm gonna go with S tier. Pixies. Once again, a lot of these, because I'm a Fiesta lover, I'm always thinking about Fiesta starts. I have seen non-Fiesta players start Chloropixie with some seedlings or 2 Chloropixies. I've seen it before. It's kind of weird, but it can work. With that being said, I wouldn't say Chloropixie open is amazing, just because you're very weak on Wave 2, and Wave 3, Wave 4, you're destroyed by a Dragon Turtle. So I think if we're talking purely openers, I'm going to go C tier. I'm going to go C tier with Pixies. If this was like a Fiesta openers, I think it would be B tier, but only barely. Just because there's so many weaknesses, people automatically are like, Wave 7. I'm sending this guy on Wave 7, which can be good and can be bad, right? You're forcing your opponents to play a certain way, but you also have a massive weakness in a way. I think C tier for Chloropixies as an opener. Consort. Once again, another one where I've seen people not be Fiesta and I've seen them open it. Me, I like the Consort too. Sometimes if I'm feeling frisky and I expect a snail, I'll throw a buzz on the right side. I do like Consort open. I do like it a lot. I probably use it so often. And there's been quite a few games where some doofus on the other side that I'm sending opens Consort. I immediately think they're Fiesta, and they bait me into full sending them the first couple of waves when they were not Fiesta. It's almost like Windhawk, which is a tier 3, so we're not there yet, which leaks to no send, but then you can kind of build out of it, right? So wave 1, you're like, haha, I'm Fiesta, and then maybe you're not. Or maybe you are, but you're really mind screwing them. It is pretty weak on 3, but if you have the right units, I still think it's fine. Like Consort Garg, Consort Aquas. I feel like there's a little more saving grace than with Pixies. You know what? I was a little too rude to Atoms. After talking it through, if we're talking purely openers, Atoms should be B tier. Atoms should be B tier. I'm sorry, I overreacted. Because I'm thinking about the waves now. You know, I'm thinking like wave 2, this is cooked. Wave 3, this is cooked. Or could be in danger. Waves 1, 2, 3, Adam is pretty okay. So it's a solid opener. Crusher, as long as you do not overpush, you're fine. And even if you do overpush, you still might get away with it and win the game. Fire Archer, immediately S tier. This is breaking the game right now. I really don't want it to ever happen to me, but there is a positioning. There's a positioning in the game right now with Fire Archer, unless they fixed it. I don't think they did. Where if you build a Fire Archer, 80 gold unit, 3 Bone Warriors, 15 gold units times 3, okay? And you do not receive a snail, it turns into the longest wave of all time to the point where you can get 40 Mythium during that wave. But here's the catch. If you did not send a snail or king up wave 1, you have 60 Mythium in income to send for wave 2. You can send a brute in income. You can send a robo snail in income. It's disgusting. It's nasty. Fire Archer probably the strongest. Next to Whirlybird, I'm just going to say it right now. Next to Whirlybird, I think probably the strongest opener here because you can also go 7 workers, right? 7 workers on 3. There's just Fire Archer. If you know how to split it perfectly, it is outstanding. Hellraiser. I had to throw this in here because some people are going to be like, Doofus, I play Hellraiser, and it's good. I used to do it a couple of times, and I used to win with it. The only problem that I will say with opening Hellraiser, because sometimes opening Pyro is good, right? You're able to push all those workers. I think the problem with Hellraiser is that it can leave you open to leaking on your weaker waves because it's Tantrum, right? So if you open it on wave 1, that means it's on Tantrum even waves. That means you're leakable on 5. That means you're leakable on 7. It means you're leakable on 9, right? 5, 7, and especially 9, you're already really weak there. You know? Yes, it covers your 8, but I mean, you're kind of weak, right? So you definitely need to have things for 5 most importantly, and then 7 next. You need to be ready, and then 9 you're cooked. So you definitely need good units for 9. But by then you've already opened, right? So like I can't penalize Hellraiser for that late in the game. I almost want to put in B if I'm gonna be honest. I'm thinking about it. Oathbreaker, solid. I'm going to go for B on Oathbreaker. 5 workers start. But the problem for me with Oathbreaker is there's no situation, Fiesta, Cartel, YOLO, there's no situation where you can ever push to 6 workers on wave 2. And I feel like SA tier should be able to go 6 workers with perfect situation. And there is no perfect situation where an Oathbreaker can go 6 workers on 2. You can be 6 workers on 3, you know, 2 Oathbreakers, or Oathbreaker and Steed, or Oathbreaker double Garg, things like that. But it's not a guarantee. Where some of these you can guarantee 6 workers. So I want that stipulated. Packrat, this is confusing, but once I'm trying to add in all these things, Packrat is not a unit you really want to open with per se, leaving it up, but opening with it for the Mythium. So if we can understand that Packrats are not meant to be used to attack most of the time, when you're in danger, you should have them above ground. But if you're using them for Mythium instead of workers early, going for that 11 Mythium or 12, whatever it is right now, I think it's 11 Mythium right now. It used to be much higher. And then people started to learn how to use them a little bit better. But if you're using them like Oathbreaker and 2 Packrats, and then you hunt one of the Packrats on 2, and then you start pushing, right? If you know the strategy, I feel like Packrats can be really good. I'm going to say this is sort of a player perspective. I would say it's an A tier if you know how to use them. I think the upper level is really good, near the top. If we're talking about for like the masses, I feel like C and B are probably closer. Just because it's really difficult to learn how to. Oh, I'm 75 under, okay, but I'm not even at 5 workers, right? It's kind of confusing. It's really confusing using Packrats, but once you get a flow for them, I do think A tier is acceptable. Sakura, I'm gonna go A tier. I would go S tier if we didn't start the video with me saying how Pixies leaves you open a 7. Sakura is weak on 7. However, it's not leaking on 2 like we had with Pixies. It's very difficult to leak 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 7 is what knocks it down from S tier. 7 is what knocks it down from S tier. I think Sakura as an opener is a great way to learn how to play the game. I do still like opening Sakura, especially if you have champion or if you're a castle player, or if you're a cartel. There's just so many good ways to play Sakura. You can accept the leaks whenever they come on 7 and just push workers. You can stay like 6, 7, 8 workers and make your opponents like break their keyboard in half because they can never leak you and your Sakura never dies. There's a lot of flexibility with Sakura. I really like Sakura. Whirlybird, gotta be number 1. I mean, surprisingly, my win rate is not as high as I would think with the Whirlybird. But Whirlybird is the easiest 6 worker opener with a tier 1 in the end game. In the game. It is the only one that is going to get you 6 workers on wave 2 with holding. Guaranteed holding most of the time. Like Crusher isn't really a guaranteed hold because you're risking that they don't send a snail. And I guess you do leak with Whirlybird, so I'm kind of lying right there. I'm kind of lying. You can get snailed and leak on 2, but the leak is much smaller, you know? The leak is much smaller as long as you add an additional copter on 2 or a buzz or anything, you're going to hold no send. And if you're Fiesta, it's fantastic because you're 6 worker. Whirlybird's just amazing. It's way better on wave 4 than any other impact unit in the game. I have no idea why Whirlybird is so good on 4, but it just is. Where naturally it's like, oh, he's impact, Oh, he's got an Oathbreaker. Gotta send wave 4. Oh, he's got a Whirlybird. I gotta send wave 4. And then wave 4 comes and the Whirlybird cooks. It's like, what? This makes no sense. So I think this unit is really good in the early game. S tier, no doubt. Best unit, in my opinion, of these openers. False Maiden. Once again, I want to just include these because I know a lot of people will play them. I'm going to say False Maiden sort of the same. Any AoE openers are just so risky. You can get away with like False Maiden 2 mask, things like that. I would never suggest it, but they are possible. Honestly, I would say do a Hellraiser over doing False Maiden and masks. But I did just want to add that in case you guys are wondering. And then I threw in my two of my worst Fiesta openers, Saraphim and Veteran at the bottom, but we'll get there. Yeah, Saraphim, I use it for Fiesta. And honestly, there's a lot of openers. Like I'm looking at Drakbot, and there's a lot of people who actually open some of these let's not say normal, but non-expected wave 1 openers. Things that I wouldn't expect to be open on wave 1. Seraphim is open a lot with non-Fiesta players. When I play it, it's you go Seraphim, and then you go 3 polys, and you get an amazing Fiesta leak. But I guess if you were not Fiesta, you could go like Seraphim and like a tier 2 might do decent. Or I guess a Seraphim and a tier 3, and you just push. You push to 5 workers. So there are options with it. So it's not that bad. But there's always going to be so many options I would prefer over Seraphim. The good news is wave 3, Wave 1 and 2 is like, but wave 3, it really smacks. And then you've got the ability to go for a Devilfish on wave 4. So you have options with it. So I feel like C, it's okay. If that's something you're playing, I'm not trash talking you. I just personally don't enjoy it. Veteran. I'd never, ever, ever start Veteran anymore. Even though it can give you one of the best Fiestas. If you stim on wave 1, although you lose 5 gold, so it's not really worth it. But yeah, Veteran and a Peewee, it's really not good just because of wave 2, sort of like the Chloropixie, except you're not getting extra Mythium, and you're not really quickly getting 6 workers. So I would never, ever recommend opening Veteran, but I checked the Legion TD2 opener stats, and there's a lot of Veteran opens. So I was like, I need to almost take a stand against the Veteran opens. Don't do it, in my opinion. But these would be my tier 1 open. Did I miss anything? that you guys are like, Doofus, I love opening 7 buzzes. It's really good. Let me know. Maybe I missed something. I will say Nucleus is possible with cash out, right? I saw that someone had one with Nucleus. I think it was 8-0. It was 8-0 with cash out Nucleus. That is the Proton Atom upgraded to Nucleus, the 3rd upgrade, just like the Hellraiser, just like the Sakura. But you can only do it with cash out. So I did not include Nucleus. And even if you could, I would say it's C tier. I wouldn't put it in D tier. But if you are cash out Nucleus, I'd say C tier. Because it's a unit that needs other units for it to be good. It's like if you built a Starcaller and didn't have any mana units on it. Now, once you get mana units, once you have other protons, other atoms, then it's amazing, right? Then you can really cook with the Nucleus. But if you just start with the Nucleus, I feel like you're goofing around. But here is my tier 1 openers. Feedback is much appreciated. And let me know if you actually want me to continue making these. It helps when you let me know. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.